So pretty exciting. We saw the almost splashdown of the Artemus to apparently because the sun was literally in our eyes, and we were miles away from the coast, and it was like 20-something miles off the coast. We didn't actually see the Artemis land, but it was extremely, extremely cool to watch it. We were outside, and I'm filming it. Well, not filming, showing my kid the video, and he just kind of looks at me and goes, "It's hot. Can we go inside?" You're right, we're probably not going to end up seeing it. So we went back inside, but I'm literally filming this a few minutes later. Really, really, really cool. They all landed safely, and it was off our coast because we live in the greater San Diego area. Very, very exciting. Additional to that, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on, but I have a question. How many bullets does it take for a principal to take in his physical body for him to stop a would-be shooter? And then he also helped apparently capture the guy. I know I'm late to this story, but it says something when we have such an amazing save of the officer who was downed in Iran, and the media can't get over the fact that our motto is no man left behind. And again, I know I'm late, but I got something I want to talk about with it. And then in the biggest news, the DOJ, and this is biggest news for me. I mean, you may find it different biggest news for you, but biggest news for me, I think this was really interesting because it shows a trend. But the biggest news is the DOJ is going after the NFL. And you say, wow, is it after all the violence that's in the NFL? Not on the field, we like that kind of violence. I'm talking about, that they have at home and all the girlfriends getting beat up and everything. Oh, no, that's not what it's about. It's about the cost of the NFL. Or at least to watch. Thank you so much for watching the Ripple Effect. This is where we really, really, really try to dive behind the headlines, because what's the most important news is the news that's impactful to you. And my job is to show how it impacts you and what you need to know to defend yourself and help yourself. Welcome to the Ripple Effect. So first off, the Artemis II landed off of the coast of San Diego. It was about 20 miles. They actually almost bullet point hit it. It was actually really interesting watching the chutes deploy. And at first there was one chute that was kind of shaking. And I'm like, okay, are we going to get a bad deployment of the chutes and we have to go to the backup chutes? I don't know, but it worked out perfectly. Pinpoint landing. They said everyone was good to go. And it's still 5:39 right now while I'm filming this. So they're still getting them. I think they had to wait a little bit of time for the everything to turn off. I turned off the news just because I wanted to film this instead, but very, very, very cool. And there's so much part of this that is a testament to what we believe and what we stand for. We felt powerful as a nation when we sent people to the moon. It meant something. It sent a message. And us sending Artemis 2 sent another huge message. And it's not even the message that's ending there. It's showing that we have the guts. We have the determination. Not me. Thank goodness I don't want to be one of the ones that's in that capsule. But the 4 people that went into that capsule, one of them being Canadian, so they kind of were like borrowed into the family temporarily. I guess we kind of had to after we defeated them so badly during the Olympics. But it's such a testament to what we can do when we want to do it. And it shows just how much more we have out there to do. And that's something we kind of lost. We kind of lost that when we stopped chasing those goals in space. And for a temporary time, they thought like, oh, well, I guess we've done what we want to do. And like, no, now we want to put up bases on moon. We want to not really colonize the moon. That's more of like a thing from Elon Musk where he wants to colonize Mars. But where we have the potential to do so much. If we put our mind to it, we can literally go to the moon. And in this case, we didn't actually land on the moon. We went around and went even further than we've ever been before. So it's kind of like that motto from Star Trek: go beyond wherever. Wow, I'm terribly ruining that. What is it? Oh my word! How am I failing in this? I'm sure all the elderly people in my comments will tell me exactly what it is. But basically, go beyond go where no one's gone before. That's what it is. Something like that. That's actually kind of embarrassing. But the whole point is that we did this, and it's amazing. It's super cool. I apologize for taking a drink. I'm still a little bit sick. But in other news, to show the determination of who we are and who we are as a people, Principal Kirk Moore tackled a shooter in Pauls Valley High School in Oklahoma. And when I started reading the story, it started getting weirder and weirder. And I'm confused because, I mean, yes, again, he amazing hero. Literally Crazy guy, super awesome. The superintendent for the schools in Oklahoma said that he looked up to this principal. This principal helped him along his way. Super great guy. He's still alive. He's still alive. It took a bullet to the leg. And he is now in the hospital recovering, and the shooter or would-be shooter is in jail. But the story is very odd. And the reason why I think it's so weird is because it seems like he almost wanted to be a shooter to get notoriety, which is why I'm not going to say his name. But may not have wanted to actually hurt anybody. Kind of weird. Okay, so first off, he shows up, and the parts that I'm not going to read verbatim are this. He shows up, walks in with 2 semi-automatic pistols, and goes to shoot somebody not shoot at somebody. He says, "Everybody down," which is kind of a weird thing to shout if you're a school shooter, but whatever. He's like, it's almost like a hostage situation. He's like, "Everybody down," and then goes to shoot one of his guns at one of the students, so I guess wasn't listening well enough or whatever, and it jams. So he goes behind a vending machine to reset the jam and the gun that he bought for this, and he's got 2 of them, and he ends up trying to shoot another student, misses, so he's not very good shot, misses that student, and then this is where it really, 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 really gets weird, okay? It says, here we go. A few moments later, he reportedly took a shot at another student but missed. The students then begged him, I'm not going to say his name, to let him live. The student did. And the guy obliged. The document says that the shooter then lowered his gun. He told both students whom he had just attempted to shoot to leave the scene. The students immediately ran out of the school's front entrance. Color me like, what? I'm confused. And please, believe me, I'm not asking for a higher count of people shot. What I'm asking is, what is going on with society? And I am definitely not thinking it's a false flag, Alex Jones kind of nonsense. No. What I'm saying is, this is weird. Like, it didn't seem like he was wanting to do it, per se. And I guess this is my point is, the impact of this is, what are we teaching our children through the media, through all the stuff they see online and Twitter and TikToks and Facebook and everything else, and all the news that's going on constantly, where people like Tyler Robinson get so popularized by the news because of shooting Charlie Kirk that people really need this for attention. But then Moore, the principal, came running to investigate the sound of the gunfire. The police affidavit said that the shooter got a shot off before he got walloped. And then Moore wrestled with the guy on the bench in the foyer and was able to remove the guy's pistol from his hand. Again, this guy's old. This dude's old. And the guy that shot him, the shooter, was like 20. This guy's old. And it says Moore and the school's assistant principal then lay on top of him until law enforcement arrived. I love this. I'm sorry. I'm reading this from Not the Beast, so the comments underneath this are hysterical. Someone said, Seeking Servant, I guess is the Twitter, said, "God bless him for his toxic masculinity, praying for his complete recovery." And yes, thank you for the toxic masculinity that charges towards the action instead of running away from it. But again, the situation is very odd, very weird. And again, they'll explain it. They'll see why it's so weird. I don't know. It's just very odd. And then in other news following that, again, we get into a lot of weird news today. Lawrence O'Donnell threw a fit because Pete Hegseth literally said, "No man left behind." And I don't understand why people have such a hard time with this. And this is the reason why. If you're a woman shot down in combat, do you really think that we're not talking about you when we say "no man left behind"? Everyone understands what that means. So why are we making it a big deal? What do you think if a woman was shot down in combat? What do you think she would prefer? Being part of the "no man left behind" that is our military? Or being part of the pansy, pathetic, stupid, asinine military that Lawrence O'Donnell would want? That would say, "Oh, and women too. No man and women will be left behind." I guarantee you, in this hypothetical situation, that woman is surrounded by Iranians the IRGC trying to get her, that you really, really, really would want the military, the one that's saying no man left behind. Because we can do it. And we did. And again, I said this in my last video, how impressive, how absolutely impressive this was. And the worst part for our enemies is that we revealed technology in this, that we were able to pinpoint his heartbeat, the officer's heartbeat, within 20 miles, to pinpoint his, they specifically said his heartbeat. How? Okay, if you're able to, let's just say you have great hearing and you can hear heartbeats, how do you know that's his? That's the insane part. And the fact this should scare everyone who is an enemy of ours. This is the technology that we let you see and revealed to you. If this is what we're showing you, what scarier things are we working on that we aren't showing you? Because think that through. We wouldn't tell them that we have this technology unless we have something far worse than that ready and capable, or at least close. Why? Because everything's cutting edge, and so you can't reveal your upper hand. And the fact that we revealed this information should terrify the enemy. They said this whole encounter has made Kim Jong-un so much more relaxed. Yeah, when they know that we can just fly into a country, set up a forward operating base, and rescue someone without taking a single casualty in a country the size of Iran that wants to hurt us, and we can track you by your heartbeat, Kim Jong-un is trying to hide his chest right now, knowing if he messes around, he will find out. Now, the DOJ is going after the NFL, and there's a reason why. And the reason why is because they did a study, and it's come out that if you want to watch all of the NFL movies this season, right, it's something like over $2,400 for the season. If you want to just watch the Sunday specials, or the Sunday, whatever that Sunday ticket, right, it's like over $250,000. Oh, no, $250,000. That'd be a lot of money. $250 for just the season. And because they have so many things, they said you would literally have, it's like a monopoly type setup there. That's what they're going after. But you would literally have to have Amazon Prime, cable, the NFL Network, and then the Sunday ticket. Like, there's just insane amount of things just to watch all of yours in your particular area. And I said this is a far cry from back when they got their licensing and stuff, and they were just on one, like on cable, right? So you could just do cable and you could get it. And here's the question. Have we really improved much, people? Impact, all right? Have we really improved much from, well, it's on cable and you just have to know what time your show's coming up and you're paying $100, or pay the $20 for Disney, the $14 to $20 for Netflix, the whatever it is for Prime, and then, oh, but you're on Prime, but there's shows that you want to watch on there, so now you have to have Showtime on Prime, or HBO on Prime, you have to have Stars on Prime, you have to have the BritBox on Prime, you have to have, and it's like, oh my word, Sony, you have to have Sony's thing on Prime, you have to have Paramount's thing on Prime, or you can go to those individual things, and by the time you stack them up, you're paying way more than what we did for cable. Like, sure, it was cool when it was Netflix and they gave you basically everything and you had to pay $4.99 a month for it. Sure, that was great, but we're no longer in those times. And so the DOJ is going after it because it's so financially irresponsible and incapable of watching even your team that you would want to watch. That's how crazy the world that we live in. And this is why people that are not exactly like me, that are conservative, will have an issue with this. But I'm not okay. I am not completely okay for complete open free enterprise. I've said this before. Not that I'm wanting a bunch of government shoved down people's throat. That's not my point. But there needs to be a balance in everything. And if we don't want balance in our lives, we're going to have one extreme or the other. And most of the systems that we down in our depths of our hearts as conservatives want are for immoral people and for people that believe like we do. And if we were dealing with people that don't believe like we do, then we're going to be in a situation where they're going to have control over stuff like this, and we're going to see what's happening, and exactly what's happening now. I can't find parking on my street because no one can live in a single family house anymore without having to have like 4 families in there, where I know that when I'm renting from my dad, when for right now, my dad's house gets sold, there's enough land on the property that the moment it's sold, it's not going to one person. They're going to buy the house. They're going to renovate the garage, make that into its own place, put 1 or 2 massive sheds, ADUs, whatever in the backyard so that they can put multiple people back there. And it'll be like, it's like a condominium at that point, the entire thing. For one house, not even a huge house, one house, because of how everything is so stinking expensive. And because of that, there's no parking. Everyone's fighting over and you'll see this in all the cities, and now it's reaching out to the suburbs too. So I'm not 100% okay with just craziness going around. And here's my landing the point. For a long time, a lot of big corporations were the ones that were buying up these houses, making it very hard for people that were single income or even double income, but not great incomes, to even own a house. And sometimes you're not going to have the greatest of income, or you're only going to have one income. This is why this DOJ investing in the NFL is actually important, because it tells corporations that there is an actual limit. You don't just get to consider us money bags and fleece us and fleece us and fleece us. Do you remember when you used to buy Word? And if you liked a Word that you had, it might be a few years before you had to get a new one. Whereas now it's like, oh, it's a subscription. Don't forget Word. We're going to do a subscription. And don't worry, every month you're going to have to pay like $30 to get the premium version of it, when you could have just paid like $100 back in the day, get stupid Word put on your computer, and now you had it. You owned it. Until you got a new computer, you owned Word and you got the updates. This is what the corporations are going for, and there does need to be some kind of change. Now, we need to teach our conservative politicians that this is a good thing. Thankfully, Senator Mike Lee is on board with it, but not all of them are. Some people are really, really, really absolutists that don't agree. So, hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Again, I'm sick, so it might have been more of a rant than I was hoping for, but have a good weekend. Thank you so much for watching.